Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com. Hello and welcome to episode 146 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple, to help you see the bad things coming and time to avoid bad outcomes. I'm coming to you today from Racine, Wisconsin, where I'm in town to deliver a full-day situational awareness program for the fire departments throughout the region, and some who are coming from as far away as Illinois. Thank you to the Racine County Fire Chiefs Association for allowing me to share this important message with your member departments. In case you missed last week's episode, I shared some really big news. The Situational Awareness Matters Online Academy opened its doors to more than 500 pre-registered students from around the United States and 5 other countries. Developing the academy was a very long process. In fact, it took me 2 years. I wanted to make sure the academy included everything first responders needed to know. There are 14 courses that cover situational awareness and high-risk decision-making from A to Z and everything in between. Nothing was held back. I also made sure the academy was priced affordable, so no department or individual firefighter could be left out. And the larger the group that enrolls, the lower the price goes, all the way down to as low as $49 per member. $49 for 22 hours of powerful life-saving lessons that I guarantee you are not taught in your Firefighter 1 or your Fire Officer Development curriculum. How can I be so sure? Because the students tell me so all the time. If you want to learn more about the Academy, the courses, the pricing, or how to sign up, just visit the SA Matters website and click on the green box on the right side of the homepage. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers and listeners is, when are you coming to my area? I want to attend a program. Or, where are you going to be next? It's really easy to find this out. There's a link to my upcoming event schedule right on the SA Matters homepage. Just click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage. It says Upcoming Events Schedule. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop for 2017 for your department or your association or your region, just contact me through the SA Matters website. Click on the Contact Us tab and we'll get something set up for you. Don't wait. I'm actively booking the 2017 programs now and already have some booked for 2018. If you want to save some money, here's a tip for how you can host a program at a reduced cost. I schedule many what I call companion programs. These are programs on adjoining days to other programs. So if you see I'm going to be delivering a program within a few hours of your department and you think you might want to tag along as a companion, contact me. You can save as much as 20% off the program fee. I do roughly 30 companion programs a year and no one ever complains about saving money on the travel expenses. That's what I call a win-win. Before I get into today's segment, I want to take a moment to discuss the Company Officer Development Institute that I created in 2009. Some of you know my second passion after situational awareness is developing leadership skills for company officers, something I did a terrible job of when I was serving as a fire chief. I was guilty of promoting officers before they were prepared, and that was my fault. And then I got angry when they didn't do a good job of leading their crews or the station, and that was my fault too. So I partnered with Captain Patrick Harper from the Indianapolis Fire Department, and we created the Company Officer Development Institute. This program can run 2 to 5 days long and uses no PowerPoint. Did you hear me? No PowerPoint. No book either. This program was developed from scratch to help company officers with the skills they need to successfully lead at the company level. No theory, no baloney. Just practical, actionable best practices for leadership, problem solving, conflict resolution, teamwork, motivation, generational leadership, discipline, coaching for performance improvement, and more. The program is truly customized to the issues being faced by those in the room. So when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of undesirable, uncommitted, unprofessional, undedicated members who are destroying your morale as a company officer, or the morale of your station, or the morale of your department, and sucking the life out of you, contact me for a program that will teach the officers a better way of leadership and teach the members a better way of committed followership. Contact me when you're ready to have your officers lead differently. When adults are engaged in the process of learning and not just being lectured to, learning can be fun. And more importantly, the lessons stick. Given the number of emails and private messages I've received about the company, from company officers, about the Company Officer Development Institute, I'd say it struck a nerve, and there's a lot of pain out there. But that inquiry to teach a program has to come from the training officer or from the chief. I appreciate the company officers reaching out to me, and I feel your pain, but there's not much that I can do to help you short of hosting a program. Okay, in today's segment, we're going to talk about fear and how fear can impact situational awareness and safety. And I'm going to get right into that segment now, but when I'm done, stick around because I'm going to announce where you can attend an upcoming Situational Awareness Matters Tour Stop events. Okay, let's jump right into the feature segment on fear. Why do some first responders go into environments that they should not go into? Why do some not come out of environments that they should come out of? Why do some commanders not order the evacuation in time to prevent a bad outcome? Is it ego? Bravado? Lack of proper training? Not understanding the conditions? Being gripped by a sense of urgency? Optimism? Denial? These can all be barriers to situational awareness, and these could all be a factor in answering those questions. Or might it be fear? Fear. You would think that if a first responder was afraid of getting hurt or killed, that maybe they wouldn't go into an environment that they shouldn't go into. Or you would think that a first responder crew, once in an environment, if they were afraid of getting hurt or killed, that they might leave in time to prevent that bad outcome. But why does a crew inside, when the conditions are turning bad, why don't they leave? I would contend that in some cases, it might be fear. Fear? Fear of getting hurt or killed? No. A different kind of fear. Why does the commander on the outside not order an evacuation as the conditions worsen? I would say it's fear. Fear that the crew inside might get hurt or killed? No, if that were the fear, the commander would order the evacuation. It's a different kind of fear. Why, when commanders give orders to evacuate, do crews push back and say things like, "Give us another couple of minutes, we almost got it"? Are they afraid of getting hurt and killed? No. It's a different kind of fear. What kind of fear is it? Well, before I answer that question, let me introduce you to something called the Fear Survey. There's a company out there that surveys people for what they fear, and then they publish these surveys in a book called the Book of Lists. So in the Book of Lists, there is a list of the fears that people have. And these are fears like fear of skydiving, because the parachute might not open, fear of swimming in the ocean, because it might get eaten by a shark. And they have these fears listed. The number one fear on the list of fears is the fear of public speaking. Now, for some people, that would not be a surprise. Others might wonder, what is it about public speaking that makes people so afraid? So when I'm teaching my situational awareness classes, and we're getting into the conversation of fear and how fear compels behavior, I have this discussion about what is it about public speaking that people fear. And the answers are usually pretty spot on. Fear of embarrassing themselves. Fear of ridicule. Fear of getting a bad evaluation. Fear of saying something wrong. Fear of having people judge the speaker as not being knowledgeable or worthy of the time that they're giving to the speaker. All of these fears are pretty powerful fears. In fact, in the book of lists, the fear of dying is number 7, while the fear of public speaking is number 1. If you think about how irrational that is, people are more afraid of giving the eulogy at a funeral than being the person in the box. That is irrational fear. But nonetheless, that fear of failure and ridicule and consequence and embarrassment is an extremely powerful motivator. Let's take that fear and put it on the fire ground. First responders spend a lot of time building up their status and their stature and their respect among their peers. There's probably nothing more desired from a first responder than to be thought that they are worthy, that they're courageous, that they're capable, that they're competent, that they can do a good job. That may be the greatest compliment that can be paid. Likewise, the opposite. To think that someone is a coward or incompetent or incapable or too afraid to get the job done, or somebody that is thought that they would leave when the going gets tough, would not be the label that a responder would want to have. And when we're operating in environments that are high risk, high consequence, time compressed with changing conditions, you would think that the fear of getting hurt or killed would be number 1 on our mind. But perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's the fear of being seen as a failure, embarrassing ourselves, and consequence and ridicule. Maybe that might explain why some responders go in when they shouldn't. Why some don't come out when they should. And why some commanders who should order an evacuation in time to prevent a bad outcome don't. There's a tremendous risk. If you're not ordered out and you come out on your own, there may be people who will stand in judgment and criticism of you. I think fire crews inside when the time is when the conditions are deteriorating and they give that radio traffic command advising the conditions are deteriorating, I think that crew wants command to order them out. Why? So they can save face. So that when they come out, they can say things like, we almost had that. We were kicking butt. We were doing the job. The only reason we came out is command ordered us out. Otherwise, we wouldn't have come out. We were just following orders. It gives that crew somebody to put the responsibility to, somebody to put the blame to, so that they can hold their head high and keep their status and stature and say, I was simply following orders. This might come after they give some pushback to the orders to let everybody know they really don't want to come out, that they really have the courage, that they can hold their own and keep their position. But if they come out, then they have somebody that they can say made the decision and not them. For the commanders, what this means for you is when the time is right, you have to have the courage to rise above your fear of what people will think about you or say to you or what judgment they will throw toward you when you make that decision to order a crew out. Because somebody will criticize that order, especially if in the results of that order there's a tragic outcome. Somebody loses their property, a civilian loses their life, and somebody's going to say, if only we would have stayed longer and not been ordered out, this might not have happened or would not have happened. So be prepared to stand in judgment of your decisions, to do the right thing at the right time for the right reasons, and overcome the fear of embarrassment and consequence and ridicule. If you're leading a crew on the inside and the conditions change and it's time to leave, overcome that fear and leave. If you're the commander on the outside and it's time to order them out, order them out. Situational awareness is about being able to do the right thing in time to avoid a bad outcome, to overcome the bravado and the ego, and to be conscientious of the fact that there is a fear that we all face, a demon that we all deal with, and that is the fear of embarrassment, failure, criticism, and consequence. Better to face that fear and live to fight another day, and better to face that fear so that you can accomplish goal number one. Always goal number one. Go home to the ones who love you. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the SA Matters website and clicking on the Contact Us tab on the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss event could save the life of another first responder. That's really powerful. So if you want to share your experience, contact me. I want to take a moment to share some feedback from some recent programs that I received from people. Now, I haven't had the chance to contact them and get their permission to share their name, so I'm just going to share the feedback and withhold their name. So this one, first one came by email that says, your program was awesome and has helped me better understand what to look for on working structure fires. You're right, they don't teach what to look for at uncontrolled structure fires. I had no problem going into training burns because I knew the building was concrete and that there were instructors all over the place to watch out for my safety. I have been fearful of going interior attack on real structure fires because I'm not completely sure that I know what I'm doing. Your program definitely helped. I will say this. I had a brand new firefighter a few years ago try to push me into a rekindle at a house fire with a mattress burning, and we had no water. And I told them that we shouldn't go, and they insisted that we go, and that we didn't need to be on air. And I refused to go in with them, and until this was taken care of, and I'm assuming that they meant the air and the water supply. A verbal argument ensued, and he eventually understood the safety point that I was making. Second piece of feedback, this came from an attendee at a program. It said, Dr. Gasaway, I would like to thank you for coming to our area and providing the attendees with an exceptional program. I've heard nothing but good things from the people that attended the seminar. Several of my own guys have told me that they really got their eyes opened wide by your program, and that they now better understand why certain decisions are made by the incident commander on a fireground. Thank you again. Stay safe and stay in touch. Now, I don't share that feedback to brag. I share that feedback to give some appreciation back to those who take time to reach out to me. And if you want to send me some feedback, just click the Contact Us link, and that'll send me an email. You can always provide your feedback also on social media, and I'll tell you how to do that at the end of the episode. Okay, as I always do, I want to take a moment to thank the departments and organizations that have hosted some of our recent Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events. I do this to show my appreciation of those organizations who put forth the effort to organize, advertise, and fund great training experiences for their members and others in their region. Your efforts to bring this valuable and powerful training on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making to those in your region is greatly appreciated. Recent tour stop included the St. Paul Fire Department in St. Paul, Minnesota, and where I am now, the Racine County Fire Chiefs Association. We're doing that program in Burlington, Wisconsin. Next week, I head to the Texas Fire Educators Conference in Corpus Christi. Then on February 9th, the Kansas Incident Management Team Conference in Salina, Kansas. February 13th, the Morris Fire Department in Minnesota. February 15th and 16th, the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Kittery, Maine. They support the overhaul of the U.S. submarines, and I'm doing some situational awareness consulting for them. February 23rd, Clovis, California. March 3rd, Lynchburg, Virginia. March 6th and 7th, Mountain Iron, Minnesota. March 8th and 9th, Lutz in Minnesota. March 14th, Towson, Maryland, where I'll be doing a full day for the Maryland Fire Rescue Institute's National Fire Service Staff and Command Program. Excuse me, I've done that program about 15 consecutive years now, so thank you, MIFRI, for that opportunity. March 16th, I'll be in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. March 18th, Cranberry, Pennsylvania. March 25th, Clyde, North Carolina. March 28th, Blue Springs, Missouri, doing a program for the International Association of Fire Chiefs. March 30 and 31, and Lancaster, Texas. If you're interested in seeing all the locations of upcoming Situational Awareness Matters Tour Stop events, head over to the SA Matters website, click on the blue box on the right side of the home page labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. Here's hoping there's an event near you and we'll get a chance to meet up. While delivering situational awareness programs in southwest Minnesota, I had the opportunity to visit my awesome and amazing sponsor for this podcast show, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire makes all poly fire apparatus. The bodies are all poly. It's changing the industry. You seriously need to check them out at MidwestFire.com. When I was there visiting, I had a chance to sit down and talk with a few of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Here I had a chance to ask account executive Dalton Lingbeck about their Create a Spec feature. Let's listen in. All right, Dalton. So a lot of the people who attend my programs are volunteer firefighters who have full-time jobs and full-time lives and raising their kids and working second jobs and doing the fire department, and clearly their time is stretched. So how, if they had an interest in a Midwest Fire apparatus, how do they reach you, and what's the process? I mean, how difficult is this? How much time is this going to take if they want to learn more about how to build a Midwest Fire truck?
Well, that's a good question. We try and make it as easy as possible because a lot of our customers, if not the majority of our customers, are volunteer firefighters, and they do have a hard time of finding time in a day to reach out to us. So if you ever go to our website and you're searching around and you really want to talk to us but you just can't get on the phone, we have a couple ways of doing this. The first part is we actually have a call request button where you can go on there, you can click on it, you can tell us when and what number to call you on at the best time. That's really easy for us to reach out at the moment you want us to, when you're best available. The second thing is we do a Create a Spec. So on our website, you can actually click a button that's called Create a Spec, and you can build the truck that you are trying to spec out. And what that does, it doesn't give you the full truck, it doesn't give you a price, but it sends us a specification in-house. So what we can do with that is we can have your information to call you with, but before that, we have a spec in hand. We can make notes. We can start developing some ideas. So when we call you, it's an efficient call. It doesn't take up a lot of your time, and it's at the right moment.
And this creative spec, is there like drop-down options? Like, you know, I'm guessing like when I purchased fire trucks, sometimes I didn't even know what I wanted, and sometimes I didn't even know the options of what were available. So is this kind of talk me through, you know, the different decisions that need to be made in developing a spec? Because I would guess that there are people out there that would be scratching their head saying, I'm not really sure that I know what I need or want. So how does this, how interactive is this in walking you through this?
Well, it's a page-by-page process. So we kind of start out with the size of your truck, and we go on to different options. We try to make it as simple as possible for you to get the point across. Basically, what it does is, like I said, it's a page-by-page process. You choose your options. We lead you in a direction that you need to go. So it's not one big page of just a bunch of stuff that you need to choose.
Okay. But there are options listed there to be able to choose from.
Yeah, but you're not writing anything out. There are comment boxes where you can write little comments if you need to, but we give you the options, little drop-down, little check boxes.
Are you, on this creative spec, are you getting as specific as to say, I want this first compartment to be so many inches wide by so many inches tall by so many inches deep? Are they getting that in depth in the creative spec, or is it something that's just a little simpler that allows them to do kind of like a high level description of what they want in a truck?
It's a little simpler. It's more of a high level idea. When it comes to compartment sizes, that's more for engineering to figure out. But you can, like I said, in the comment boxes, there are sections where you can say, I want high side compartments, I want full height compartments on this side. There's a lot of options for you to choose that.
Okay, so to go to MidwestFire.com, and then on there is a create a spec tab or link.
Yep, you'll see one on the top right corner, and if you scroll down the main page, you'll see one underneath our video. There's plenty of options for you to find it. It's just here to catch your eye, and when you see some trucks on our website that you like, feel free to fill one out.
Yep, there you go. Go to MidwestFire.com, check out Create a Spec, and see how easy it is to build a truck and then have a follow-up consultation about your needs. Thank you, Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your staff for your awesome commitment to improving first responder safety. I sincerely appreciate your support of my mission. I mentioned earlier, if you want to send me feedback, you can click the Contact Us link on the SA Matters website. You can also contact me through social media. You can follow me on Twitter, at Rich Gasaway on Twitter. On LinkedIn, you can search for Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. You can watch my videos on the YouTube channel, SA Matters TV on YouTube. On Facebook, you can like the SA Matters Facebook page and follow me there. If you want to become a member of the SA Matters community, you can go to the website and click on the red box on the right side of the home page that says Free Membership. And when you sign up, I'll give you a report called 25 Best Practices for Improving First Responder Safety. Well, that's it. Episode 146 is complete. Thank you to our podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all of our live event hosts. Thank you to our more than 500 online Academy students. And thank you, our listeners, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.